Hey guys, this is Shreyas and welcome back to another video. So yeah, this is the OnePlus 9. So we definitely need to find out how fast it is. So I did an unboxing video of the same and it will pop up right now in the card above or check it down in the description below. So I thought I had the OnePlus 8 Pro with myself and I thought that we could check the speed with that because it came with the Snapdragon 865 and this comes with this year's flagship processor, which is the Snapdragon 888. Also, given that the platforms are same, that is Oxygen OS, and both are Oxygen OS 11 that is based on Android 11, it would be a fair comparison to understand how the chips are this year and how big a performance benefit are we looking at. Now before we move on with the video, why don't you just pause and guess by what margins and in what tests do you expect the Snapdragon 888 to perform better? What are you expecting out of it? Just go down and comment down below. Also, if you're liking this video and you like my previous videos, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell because a lot more OnePlus 9 Pro content is coming, especially the camera comparison and a camera test, also the full review. So with that said, this is Shreyas and let's check that out. Alright, so first up we got last year's flagship, the OnePlus 8 Pro, powered by the Snapdragon 865, 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM, 256GB of 3.0 storage. The latest OnePlus 9 Pro, powered by the latest Snapdragon 888, 12GB of the same LPDDR5 RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage this time. So let's get into the speed test. We'll try out the speed of opening apps of daily social media, some streaming and some heavy applications. Do a couple of benchmarks and check the RAM management at the end of it. Alright, starting off with a very light Twitter application. Here I feel that the OnePlus 9 Pro was slightly fast. Nothing game changing though. The Instagram app opens exactly at the same time. Next, moving to the Amazon app. Again, both of them opens exactly at the same time. Nothing that I can visually differentiate. Now the Flipkart app again opens at the same time. So last year's Snapdragon is doing pretty well till now. Backdrops, one of my favorite wallpaper apps, again opens at the same time. Going to Chrome with a particular web page open, slightly fast on the OnePlus 9 Pro, but nothing again game changing or differentiable. The YouTube app opens and loads almost at the same time, but the 9 Pro seemed a bit sooner. Next, moving to Hotstar application. Over here we see that again both of them open at the same time. The performance difference on day-to-day app is almost negligible over here. Next, the Prime Video app. Exactly on the same split second, I couldn't tell it apart at all in this particular application. Now the Netflix app, again at the same time and no difference at all, honestly speaking. Now here are some heavy apps, starting with Lightroom, and Lightroom opens slightly sooner on the OnePlus 9 Pro. Next we have Call of Duty Mobile, and this game is a bit heavy and takes some time to load, and looks like OnePlus 9 Pro has the lead by a small margin. And yes, the OnePlus 9 Pro has opened it a bit sooner, although the 8 Pro was hardly a second behind, to be very honest. Alright, let's go home and try the next game, which is Asphalt 9, a very graphic intensive game over here, and it's been going on for a long time. Struggled to open in previous flagships for years. So yeah, we are in the loading screen over here, and yeah, this is an application where I saw a lot of anomaly. I have done this test at least 3 more times, and sometimes the Asphalt 9 opens faster on the 8 Pro, sometimes on the 9 Pro. As you can see in this particular case, it will open sooner on the 8 Pro and by a large margin, which is very surprising. And there is another condition where it's acting a bit weird, so I feel that the optimization is not up to the mark. But it is the case for both the 8 Pro and the 9 Pro, so OnePlus needs to take note and provide an update. Let's move to 3D Mark. This is a graphics engine test That is how well the GPU works on this particular phone. As you can see, we have an early lead on the OnePlus 9 Pro, and you can see the frames at the bottom left hand corner over here in landscape mode for both the devices. You will notice quickly that the 8 Pro looks a bit more choppy because it's rendering less number of frames per second, whereas the 9 Pro looks a bit more smoother. Now it's a long 1-minute test, so I'm fast forwarding it right now, and let's get to the end of this test and see what the results speak to us. Alright, now so we have over here 5473 on the 9 Pro and 3790 on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now this is a good enough difference, to be honest, and you can see the change in frame rate with the temperatures over here. The 9 Pro is slightly warmer, and understandably so, because it is churning out more amount of graphics horsepower per second than the 8 Pro, which is seen in the results. So here's a graph, and you can see the fluctuations in the frames during this particular test. Now next, let's move to another CPU bound benchmark, which is Geekbench. Alright, so I'm gonna resume both at the same time, and again it's gonna be fast forwarded and chopped in half as well because it's a pretty long test, and the 8 Pro takes a significant amount of extra time because the 9 Pro completes it faster, understandably so, because it has a faster CPU than last time. And here are the scores in front of you. As you can see, the 9 Pro gets a very decent score, honestly. The only thing I think it's behind is probably the A14 Bionic. And yeah, let's wait for the 8 Pro to finish the test. And you can see over here the 8 Pro is behind both in the single and the multi-core performance by a large margin. And that's the improvement that the Snapdragon 888 is showing, although it's not seen in the regular apps we use, as we saw in the speed test initially. But it does make a difference in a few things like image processing, etc. So let's move on to the RAM test. We'll open the last app, obviously in memory, no issues there. 3D Mark again, and it is in memory. Now this is where I was talking about OnePlus optimizing Asphalt 9 for some reason, because it went out of memory. It is loading again, and this time the OnePlus 9 Pro loads it faster than the 8 Pro. Not by the huge margin it lost last time, but still it's again flipped. And funnily, Call of Duty is in memory, and you will see this pattern repeat throughout this particular RAM management test. All the apps that I tested in this particular test are in memory. The only exception was Asphalt 9. Moving to Prime Video now, it is in memory, so is Hotstar. YouTube, just where we left off in the timeline. Chrome has the web page open and loaded as well. It does not reload it as well. Backdrops right where we left it. Flipkart just refreshes the contents of the pages a bit, and so does Amazon. It is not out of memory, it just refreshes the banner. And Instagram is again at where it was. So is Twitter. Only a few newer tweets are loaded. So that's been it, and you can see that 12 GB RAM is more than enough. Alright, so my conclusion about the Snapdragon 888 is that the Snapdragon 865 is actually a great chip, and it still holds up. Yes, the 888 is based on a 5nm process this year, and it does have a lot of enhancements, especially in the ISP. Also, which leads to capabilities like 8K video, 4K, 12-bit RAW, and all that stuff, which OnePlus has enabled. Honestly, I will be testing all of them out. And as I mentioned, do subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because I am holding polls about which photo samples you prefer. I'll not reveal the identity of the pictures over there, but it'll be a fun engagement. You should try it out and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the other tests about the OnePlus 9 Pro and see how it holds up. I did not get my hands on the 50-watt wireless charger here in India. It's not in stock anywhere in the store, on the online store, nowhere. But when I do plan to compare the charging tests of both. Also, I will be probably doing a wired charging test and a battery drain test to understand how the 8 Pro's battery, because it had no upgrade in terms of capacity since last year. So yeah, that's been it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on future coverage, and hit that notification bell. With that said, this is Shreyas and thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one.